Not only do men not go to the doctor, men are not great communicators. We don't talk.
That's right.
You know.
Well, we are back with the Pew Baby Show. Pew, pew, pew. And as you can see, we're not in the studio. We are back into the community again.
Yes.
And with this season, we're talking about the healing process. We're talking about the journey of your healing, the matters of the heart, the journey to healing. And we want to talk about, we talked about emotional, we talked about spiritual, but one thing we really want to get into this season is talking about physical healing and the walk and the process that it takes to go through the physical healing. And we are proud to have here with us today, my brother, he's my brother because he's my sister brother, so he's my brother too. My brother, Mellve Shahid. Thank you. He is in charge of the Empowerment Network, and you're going to hear all about that during this talk. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me today.
Now, before we go into anything any further, can you please explain to our audience what is the Empowerment Network?
The Empowerment Network is a 501c3 prostate cancer organization here in the St. Louis community that supports and aids prostate cancer survivors and their families. We're celebrating not 15 years, that's old, 16 years.
Sweet 16,
Sweet
come
16, you know, what you say, pow, 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 pew, pew, you know what I mean? So we're 16 years old this year.
Well, congratulations for 16
And that's
years.
a staple by itself because
It
some
is.
don't make it past the first.
Right.
And especially 501c3.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, we were blessed by Almighty God to survive COVID.
Yeah.
You know, we had to do like most non-for-profits. We shut our doors. You know, we went to a Zoom platform.
Wow.
You know, we didn't want our survivors to possibly be engaged in, you know, close activities because we lost quite a few survivors during COVID.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, because we carry those comorbidities, we carry, you know, those compromised immune systems that most men have when they're diagnosed with cancer, you know. So, you know, we closed everything down, went to a Zoom platform. You know, we didn't have a major fundraiser. So we'll talk about that a little bit in the program. In September is National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, you know, and during the month, you know, of September, we used into the raising awareness for prostate cancer, you know, celebrate survivorship, but most of all, honor those who have lost their lives to this disease.
And that's very personal to you because not only are you a survivor, we want to put that out there. And how many years are you a survivor?
17 years.
17 years, clapping up,
17
clapping
years.
up.
17
And
years.
not only are you a survivor, unfortunately, you learned recently that some of your family, including your father and your uncle, passed away from prostate cancer.
Yes, they all passed away from this insidious disease, you know, but I often say no man should die from prostate cancer. No man should die from this disease. Based on American Cancer Society statistics, there is a 95 to 100% survival rate if you can catch this disease early. We often say that early detection is the best protection.
Yes.
You catch it early, like say 100% survival rate, you can go on and live a normal life, you know, outside of this disease, you know, but you got to get on top of it early.
Yes. Because I know my family, cancer runs in my family. My grandmother died of it. A lot of her siblings died of it. And I told you personally, before we even started filming, it have hit home now. And it's something that's being dealt with here now. So to hear and be able to speak with individuals who can be encouraging and show, yeah, this is what you may be going through right now. But if you do what you're supposed to do, because you got to get up off your butt and do what you got, because you know it's a lot of men.
Right.
And if this is, you know, related to men, and a lot of black men do not like to go to the doctor.
That's right. That's right. You know, the statistics are showing that we get more car washes and more shoe shines than doctor visits. You know, we polish them out, the wheels on our cars, you know, and we watch more TVs than going to the doctor, you know.
And
So,
that's saying.
you know, June is Men's Health Awareness Month. So we were on 96.3, running commercials, radio commercials and ads on there, encouraging men during the month of June to go to the doctor, get a physical exam, and while they're there, get that simple blood test called a PSA test that for prostate cancer, because it's that simple test that can save lives.
Yes, and I know exactly what you're talking about right now, because literally PSA levels was up and they said, uh-oh, we need to see what's going on. And, you know, no one wants to hear that information. But like you said, it's something that you can do about it. It's not a death sentence like things used to be back in the day.
Right. No, it's not. It's not. It's not a death sentence. You know, big salute to all the great hospitals we got here in St. Louis. You
So
know,
many
some of the
of
great doctors. We got the great Psych Cancer Center right here in St. Louis. You know, great research. You know, great data. You know, that's coming out of excitement. You know, men, women, community is living a lot longer with cancer now because of the medical community, you know, and all the great work they're doing. So a big salute to them.
Yes, yes.
Now, I've heard through the grapevine from a little birdie that you wrote a story, you wrote a book about your experience. Would you like to get into a little bit of
Yeah. That book should be coming out at least by next month. I should have a hard copy. You know, if this has been 17 years of writing. You know, writing, and I'm not a writer, but writing became therapeutic for me. Going through the journey with prostate cancer, you know, it's a way of expressing oneself. It's a way of getting into oneself. You know, I encourage cancer survivors all the time now, especially these men, to journal as they go through this.
Wow.
You know, our beautiful ladies, the beautiful sisters, our mothers, daughters, they've been journaling all their lives.
Yeah.
You know, they've been writing all their lives. They've been sharing, you know, not only do men not go to the doctor, men are not great communicators. We don't talk.
That's right.
You know, we don't express.
Internalize.
We don't internalize.
Yes.
Great. So, you know, the writing became therapeutic for me. Became a form of healing for me. So I just started writing. So the book itself is a collection of writings. It's just a collection of motivated writings that I wrote, and hope that it will motivate the lives of men going through this disease called prostate cancer. You know, one of them, the title to the book is "You're Still a Man." You're still a man,
and that has significance.
Well, it has great significance because going through prostate cancer is two things men often want to know. They want to know, will I live? And can I still perform sexually?
Yes, sir.
Am I still a man?
Yes.
And you know, as African American men, we think below our waist. You know what I mean? Come on, let's keep it real.
Well, a lot of
we're talking 100% here.
We're keeping it real.
We're keeping it real.
A lot of men think below.
Right. We think that our manhood exists below our waist.
Yes.
You know, so when men come into our organization, a lot of times when we're counseling them, they want to know, you know, will I still be a man? So that's the title to the book. You are still a man. You know, prostate cancer do not rob you of your manhood.
Yes.
You know, there's life after this disease.
Yes.
You know, and due to the great medical research of the day and some of the great medical treatments, you know, all of that can be solved if you survive.
Yes.
You know, and our federally traded logo, it says, I survived. You know, so many things can happen in your life if you survive.
That's right.
So you are definitely a survivor, and that's something that we also commend you about. You just mentioned previously that you offer counseling service. What are some of the other resources and services that you offer here through the Empowerment Network?
Well, at the Empowerment Network, our premier service here is our support group.
Okay.
You know, we are the recipients of the 2009 American Cancer Society Dr. Harold P. Friedman Award for our support, because when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, myself and my late co-founder, who passed away from this disease about 7 years ago, we both looked for a support group in the Black community. You know, but there was nothing. There was nothing in our community. There was a support group outside of our community, but nothing inside of our community, you know.
Yeah.
So we got a little upset about that, and we decided to start our own support group. You know, we started our own support group in February of 2008. We started with about 7 survivors, you know, coming to that first support group meeting. In February of 2009, we had over 100 men in the room.
Wow.
We had over 100 men in the room. The American Cancer Society honored us with the Dr. Harold P. Friedman Award because we did what they could not do. You know, we brought psychological and emotional support to men in the community in the form of support group, and we've been beating ever since. You know, our support group meets the second Saturday of each and every month at the St. Philip's Church, 2424 Andy Malone Drive. A big shout out to that's my church family down there. I call them my church family, the St. Philip's Church, Dr. Ashby, board member Terry Friedman, and all of them down there at St. Philip's. They're great family. We meet down there each and every second Saturday.
I think that's very admirable how, and if you're watching at home, you've heard us mention a couple of times on this season already. If you're tired of seeing how things are going, if you're tired of not seeing the change that you want to see, get up off your butt and make it happen.
Make it happen.
Absolutely.
Because oftentimes we have to become the service that we need.
Yes.
You know, this is not uncommon for Black people to create the service in the community for themselves that's not there for them. We have to create that service, and that's what we did in that Empowerment Network. We created the service that we needed because now survivors now benefit from this.
And it clearly was a huge need if you jump to 100 just that fast.
Yes. Well, you know, because when you go through cancer, you need support.
And a lot of people don't have it.
You need it psychologically
Yes.
and emotionally. You know, the hospitals do great at healing the body. But what about the human spirit?
That's right.
See, the spirit is broken.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and it's wounded. You know, so you got the psychological and the emotional side effects from this disease. When men come home from prostate cancer diagnosis, they're broken.
And being that you opened that door, because I was finna turn and go to but you opened that door. So now that we're starting to deal with the psychological and how men deal with these things, because we know everyone is different. Everyone deals with sickness, grief, all the above differently. When you first got your diagnosis, tell the people how you dealt with it and what steps you took.
Well, I got the phone call from my urologist in March of 2007. He indicated at that time that I had an aggressive form of prostate cancer. It was stage 2, and he gave me 2 years to live.
Wow.
If I did not get on top of my health.
Yeah.
He said, you got about 2 years to live, you know. So I turned to my faith. You know, they say your faith will save you. So I turned to my faith, you know, asking God to heal my body, restore my health, and give me a second chance. And if he would do that for me, I would dedicate my entire life, you know, to helping men with this disease, you know, and that's what I've done. I mean, I've dedicated my entire life to helping men, to informing, to educating, to uplifting men about prostate cancer. You know, I never dreamed in a million years that we would grow to the extent that we are now. Not only is the Empowerment Network locally, but we're working nationally, and we even work international. We have a survivor now that's on there all the way in from Ireland.
Wow.
Wow. So you're international.
It's international.
International.
Yep.
Wow, that's great.
Now, with prostate cancer, we know that this is, it's not a death sentence, but we do know that it not only affects the person who's been diagnosed, but it affects everyone around them, especially the caregivers. So are there any programs or resources that you may have for caregivers or people that are part of the family?
Because they need to impact it.
Right. Is there a support group for them as well?
Caregivers go through a journey. They go
Absolutely.
through the journey too. You know, caregivers go through the journey when they care for us. You know, statistics are showing that there are times when the caregivers don't outlive the patient, because the caregivers caring for us, oftentimes they stop taking care of themselves. Yeah, because they taking care of us. You know,
Absolutely.
So we do have a program here. You know, and so our beautiful wives and caregivers, they have their own. They have started their own little meetings. You know, so that they can talk about their journey, because they have a journey too. You know, and they need to, as I talk about in my book, release the pain. You know, just like the man carries that pain, the wife is carrying that pain too, or he's caregiver, because he or she is there to care for that individual as they go through this battle with prostate cancer. So at the empowerment that we salute our caregivers and we thank them and praise them. And big shout out to my wife, Mellve Shahid, because without my wife, I would never have been able to survive this. You know, she was there when I needed her the very most, and she took care of me, you know, when I was going through my really dark days with this disease. So, I mean, I thank her, I love her, I appreciate her. She get that last name sometimes, but still, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Cut that when y'all do that, make sure y'all edit that out.
No,
you know, but
okay.
no, but
I'll take that payment out.
Yeah.
I got you.
I thank God for her, because we're going through the journey with cancer. Just hearing the word alone, I was dumbfounded. I was speechless, you know. And after I got the diagnosis that I had cancer, couldn't hear anything after that. I heard nothing. And I just seen my wife over there. She was just writing, you know, and talking back. So when we got in the car, I asked my wife, I said, so what did he say? She said, you were sitting right there. So she just started fussing. You were sitting right there. What she didn't realize is, I couldn't hear him. And I've heard so many men in our organization say the same thing. They're going through a battle with cancer. When they got the news, it's a deafness that falls over you. You know, it's a deafness. That's the reason why you need support.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the reason, because you're wounded, you're broken, you know, and you need that psychological and that emotional upliftment, but you also need the spiritual.
I would ask this question, being that you just said that, because what would you say to that individual who is dealing with that diagnosis and they don't know how to accept support? They don't know how to let someone be there for you, because it's some people that I know, you know, they have support systems. It's people that want to be there for them, but because they're so stuck in this death mode, that all the love that's being showed, all the care that's being showed, I don't know how to accept it because I'm stuck in this death mode.
Well, you know, the question you just asked is asked by a lot of medical people I've dealt with over the years, you know, because like I say, the body is being healed, but it's that human spirit. The human spirit has to be fed.
Absolutely.
And you said the magic word, you feed it with love and kindness and patience. That's how you feed the spirit of an individual, you know. And so when you're going through a bout with cancer, you know, you have to try to, you know, we try to tap into the human side of an individual, you know. Men are just a totally different breed from women. That's keeping it real. They're totally different.
Yes.
You know, because like we're stubborn, we're not communicators. You know, and you know, we don't understand the power of therapy. We need, you know, therapy. You know, the whole society needs therapy. I mean, honestly, we need therapy on a regular basis.
It's not weak.
You know, it's not weak. It's a sign of strength.
Yes.
Especially when you're going through the ordeal of cancer or losing a family member. You know, sometimes we need that, you know, so that we can become whole again. You know, so but support is so much needed when we're going through this disease. You know, and having that loving caregiver or that family around us support us, you know, means everything.
And you just mentioned family, and that's a segue to another portion. This is how I met you, is because you wind up finding new family recently. Would you like to tell that story on how this happened and the importance of this?
You know, it was amazing that I was encouraged by my sister and my wife. You know, let's go all the way back. Let's wind it on back, go all the way back. I grew up without a father. I found out at the age of 19 or 20. The man on my birth certificate was not my dad.
Wow.
You know, I was told that by a very close member of the one with my mother's girlfriend. She told me, she said, you're old enough now to know. The man on your birth certificate is not your dad. And he wasn't in our life anyway. And I always wondered why. That he wasn't around, he never came around or nothing like that, you know. He was only on paper, he was only on the birth certificate, you know. So, you know, I was shocked. you know, to the point where I wasn't really hurt because I didn't know him no way.
Exactly.
Right.
Like whatever.
Like, yeah, whatever. But it raised the curiosity in me.
Mm.
So I went to a couple family members and I asked them, is it true? You know, and they all said yes, but they wouldn't tell me who the man was. Let's talk about family secrets.
Oh.
Because, you know, the black community is full of family
What
secrets.
goes in this house
Stays in his house. You know what I mean? And the cemetery is full of family secrets.
My God.
Really. I mean, family secrets. Well, those secrets were carried all the way to the grave.
Yes.
Please vote.
Please vote. Please vote. Please vote. Please vote.
Please vote.
Please vote.
Please vote.
Please vote.
We see you later.
Please vote.
We get ready to vote.
You know, a lot of healing
They could have went for.
could have went forth had those secrets not had been revealed. You know,
So you think us as the black community, because we know it's outside, but we're talking about the black, because we know this is a prominent thing in black families. Do you think we've become so used to the stigma of not communicating? Because you know, you say we're dealing with men, how we don't communicate how we're supposed to. Is this a form of fake therapy that we are making for ourselves to just internalize and keep all these secrets?
I think the younger generation today, personally, I think they're more open than our generation. I really do.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
I
Very
do.
much so.
They're
Very
more
much so.
open. They communicate a lot more.
Speak their mind.
They have no problem speaking their mind.
No problem.
I mean, and to a great degree, if they do it in a respectful way, I salute them for that.
Yes.
It's that past generation
Mm-hmm.
that carried those secrets,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that wouldn't reveal those secrets, you know, and that was in my case. I mean, I was the example of a family secret that was supposed to have never been revealed.
Mm.
And it wasn't revealed. Even when I went to my mother, who I love dearly, I want to, you know, on record saying that I love my mother. You know, I hold no animosity against my mother.
Mhm.
You know, but when I asked her about it, she said, well, what did I tell you? And I said, you didn't. So she never actually said, he's your father.
Mm-hmm.
It was just on paper, but she never said that he was your dad, you know. So I said, well, Mom, you know, is it true? She said, well, what did I tell you? What did I say? She got angry, so I kind of left it alone, you know. But then the curiosity, I always wondered, like, who's my dad? Who's my pops? You know, and I used to, you know, imagine how he looked. I used to imagine, you know, because I think that's something that is in every man. You want to know who your dad is. That's a God-given right in all of us to know who our mother is and who our father is. No matter what kind of dude he is, it's okay to know who your father
At least
is.
I know.
At least I know. You know. So I carried this burden for 69 years. You know, for 69 years, I didn't know who my papa was. You know, so I talked to my wife about it. I talked to my sister about it. So my sister had one on Ancestry DNA, and she took the Ancestry, and she found some of her relatives. So she encouraged me to do the same thing, you know. And I said, oh, you know, that stuff ain't gonna work. She said, and so my wife got up in my ear, and she,
You know, those wives will do that.
and she said, well, what do you have to lose? I said, okay. So I took the Ancestry DNA test, you know, and that was in like June of 2021. I took this test, you know. And my wife asked me on several occasions, have you had the results came back? I said, I told you. You know. So in August of 2021, my phone went wrong. In the emails, it came through my email, your results again. So I ran down to the computer and looked it up. So the first name that was on the profile itself was my baby sister's name. But that kind of blew my mind. I'm like, whoa. So I called my baby sister up and I asked her, I said, you know, your name is on here, on my DNA profile. She said, well, brother, why wouldn't it be? we might not have the same father, but we still carry the same DNA as far as we got the same mom.
Mm-hmm.
So the next name on the DNA profile was a guy named Glenn Stewart. And then was other Stewarts on the DNA profile, and I was like, okay. So I started reaching out to them. You know, I sent them all emails, correspondence, told them who I was and everything, you know, and told them I just like to talk with them. You know, so for 6 months, I didn't receive anything, you know. And my wife constantly asked me, did anybody kind of, nah, coach, ain't that happening, wouldn't it? So in March of 2022, we're in 22 now, I'm celebrating 15 years at that time of prostate cancer survivorship. Because at our support group meetings, we generally always, you know, who's celebrating survivorship this month? You know, so it was March, and I was at a support group meeting, and we were over Zoom. You know, so I indicated at that time I was celebrating 15 years of being cancer free. Everybody started clapping and stuff. And then my phone went off. And I looked down, it was a strange number. And so I kind of ignored it because I'm hosting a Zoom, so I can't do both. You know, and I call them later. You know, after the support group meeting, then I got a text message. And so my niece, she texted me and indicated that, hey, we might be family. Why don't you give me a call and so we could talk? You know, I got your email. You know, I hadn't been checking my DNA, you know, emails or anything. She said, but yours raised some attention. So she said, give me a call. So I immediately gave her a call. So we talked for hours. And she said to me that you look just like my grandfather. So I said, who's your grandfather? I mean, and she said, Grover Stewart. Is, you know, she is my grandfather. I said, well, his name wasn't on the list. She said, I know it. She said, I know it. I said, it was a man's name on there, Glenn Stewart. And she said, that's my dad. She said, that's my dad. You know. So I reached out to him, and I reached out to the other family members, and this was my gift from Almighty God. It was my gift. You know, God talks about, you know, that He rewards your faithfulness.
Yes.
He rewards your sincerity.
And rewards those that diligently seek Him.
Right. In ways that we would never realize, you know. So I am so honored. I'm so blessed to God, my sis, you know, who is my heart. I love.
Were they open to you?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, it most definitely, you know. I had to go through Facebook.
Say it like that. Listen.
Because I didn't have no phone numbers.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But they was on Facebook.
I had to go through Messenger
Okay.
to find my sis, you know. But it's been, oh God, it's been so rewarding.
Was your dad, was he still alive or no?
No, my father died.
Okay.
I found out some great things about my dad. You know, he was a man of integrity. You know, he was a minister. You know, he ran a paint company. He was a painter, and I'm a painter. You know, I also found out that my father passed of prostate cancer. You know, and so it started opening up some doors for me. So it made me understand, because I often wonder, how did I get this disease?
And it was genetics.
Genetics, you know. And I found out that my uncles, his brothers, all died of prostate cancer.
Wow.
You know.
But you survived.
But I survived. You know.
The buck stopped here.
Right. So I thank God.
There was purpose in his life.
That's right. It was purpose, you know.
They brought it all together.
Right.
So that shows sometimes you have to do your part.
Right.
And put in the effort and do the research, because the word does say faith without works is dead.
It's dead.
We like to sit and be stagnant and think everything gonna come to us all the time. If none of you aren't being blessed by hearing this story, and well, you know, we're talking about cancer, but we're talking about this season, the matters of the heart, because I'm up here getting emotional myself because it's like, wow, you never know
No, you just never
what
know.
people are going
The
through.
journey.
And the journey to get here.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Right.
And just shout out to my bestie, my sister, Aquita Stewart. That's my sister. That's my road dog.
Right.
But I was here at this very location when Channel 4, St. Louis, KT,
KMOV.
Channel 4, before was here interviewing my brother about this discovery of family,
Right.
and how God blessed him with more family. But not just that, he had this interview during Father's Day weekend.
Right.
So he learned how to not only honor his father in this way of continuing the empowerment, because he still had the empowerment network already.
Right.
But this was an inspiration, not only in honor of his father, but his uncles, those who did lose
And
the
a
battle.
personal healing.
And a personal healing, his own personal story, to share that, to say, okay, I went through this, but I came through it. And because I came through, here we go again. Transition, matter of the heart, now the path of healing. Now he's in his path of healing with new family, with a greater support system. And he mentioned earlier the importance of support. Now, I want you to talk to that audience of how no man can be an island.
No.
Because that's one thing a man is quick to say.
Right.
I'm out.
I got
I don't need nobody.
But nowhere in a man's life has been taught intimacy. There's nowhere in a man's life where he's been taught intimacy and support and how important it is to have therapy and those things right there. We were never taught that. So then when we grow into our fullness as we feel, we don't understand that those things, as he just said, they don't make us weak, they make us strong. We need support in our life when we're going through the different ups and downs and ordeals in life. We all need support, and it's okay.
Most do.
It's okay, to get that support and to receive it, and a lot of times that's the hardest thing for us is to receive.
Yes.
It's to receive the gift from Almighty God.
Mm-hmm.
And my new family, that's my gift.
Yes.
That was my gift. That was my Father's Day gift. That's my lifelong gift, is to find them. Because I had always that yearning of wanting to know who my family was. It was always there.
Yes.
It never went anywhere, so God rewarded me with them. I thank God for them, and I love my sister to death. I just text her all the time. I love you. I love you, sis. Sis, I know I get on her nerve. I love you, sis. Sis, I get on you. I know I'm getting on you, but I do. I love my sister. I love my sister to death. It's like we've been knowing each other entire lifetime.
Wow.
And it sounds like something I've been talking about, how God gave it to me. And as I've been saying, that's why I was getting emotional. I'm like, God, you just keep fulfilling and showing me how I know it ain't nobody but you I'm hearing and talking to.
Right.
And he will always give you something or a vision or dream that it don't look like you can do yourself.
Right.
And I call it redemptive revelation.
Right.
But how you know it wasn't nobody but God.
Right.
When he bring it all together. Man couldn't do it, you couldn't do it. But when he brought it, it was like, I can't do nothing but help and see. That's what nobody but God that did.
It's almost
That's
that.
it.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, September. Let's talk about September.
September is National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and it's really our time to celebrate, as cancer survivors. Like I said, during the month of September, not only do we celebrate, we have different activities to help create the awareness even more. But, we also take a moment, pause, and honor those who have lost their lives.
And you mentioned something, there's some special events that happen during that time. Are there any particular events that you would like to bring out to
Oh,
our
yeah,
audience?
most definitely. During the month of September, we got I think the first Saturday in September, we have the Zero Prostate Cancer Walk. Zero is a national organization out of Maryland. They have prostate cancer walk. I believe it's 46 walks throughout the nation. St. Louis is one of those. St. Louis it's the Empowerment Network. We kind of oversee and help with the walk and the bed. Our Goals Park. First Saturday in September. I believe that's the 9th, 7th, 9th, 8th, something like that.
Somewhere around.
Yeah, somewhere around there. You know, right. But that's in September. We also partner.
7th.
The 7th.
Yep.
7th of September.
The second Saturday. Actually, the first is Saturday in September this year. So it's first and the 7th.
It's the 7th.
The 7th.
It's
Okay.
the 7th.
The second Saturday.
Second Saturday.
Okay.
We'll have our Prostate Cancer Walk. We're partnering with the YMCA this year.
Okay.
We'll probably be doing a press conference kickoff at the YMCA, along with my great friends at Affinity Healthcare, Dr. Kendra Holmes. You know, so we'll be working with them.
Is it a fee for the?
Oh no, everything that we do at the Empowerment Network is free. We charge for nothing that we do.
So
all our services are free. You know, all our services.
You don't hear that?
Oh, no, yeah, everything that we do is
and
free.
it's a con.
But we also, during the month of September, we have our big gala celebration, because once again, free don't pay no bills. You know what I mean?
See?
Amen?
Amen.
And free don't pay no bills, so you gotta raise a 501c.
That's
you
right.
gotta raise money.
That's right.
You know, so we'll have
Because the lights ain't stand on, it just ain't paying right.
That's it.
We know it's part of it, but we still got to send that check there.
Send a check every month. So we have a big gala celebration.
Now, where is that at?
It's going to be at the Orlando Center out in Maryland Heights.
Okay.
I think that's September the 28th. It's going to be an all-white celebration this year.
Okay.
Last year we did our blue tie celebration, where you know, all the survivors come in black suits, and we wear the powder blue tie. Blue is the color for prostate.
I was going to say that's the color.
That's the color for prostate cancer, powder blue.
Okay.
You know, so we've been doing that annually. Our blue
I was
tie.
going to say, you know, that's my favorite color, blue.
Right.
I love blue anything, but when I saw it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the color.
Oh, that's the color. That's the color.
Okay.
You know, so we'll be doing that's our major fundraiser of the year. 96.3 Tony Scott. He'll be our MC this year. Dr. Lannis Hall out of Washington University. She'll be our guest speaker. We'll be giving out a few awards that in September. Last year, boxing great Daniel Holyfield, he was at there. We had about over 400 some people there last year. So we just looking this year. We want to do something different. So we said, let's go all white. You know, so we're just going to have a all white celebration.
Because we don't talk about you can't wear white after
Yeah, we're going to wear it anyway. You know, this is a celebration. We're going to celebrate white. Yeah, we're going to celebrate white this year, you know.
Yes.
We look, you know, so the tickets are $100 a piece. It's a table of 8. And also we just encouraging the community to come out, celebrate with us, and, you know, help our little 501c3 keep the doors open. The money from the gala helps to keep our cancer. This is our cancer information and educational center. The first of its kind. You know, we brought cancer information and education into the community. Generally, cancer information and education is in hospitals, medical institutions. We brought it into the community, into the black community,
and the north side.
And we won the second award from the American Cancer Society in 2010 for our cancer information center.
Wow.
So we won it for our support group. We also won it for our cancer information, because they said you actually took it and brought it into the community, something that they never done.
And if you can come if you're here in the St. Louis area, come here to the center. If you can look around, there is so much information. There's pamphlets, there's brochures. The bell, 6,000 West Floss in St. Louis, Missouri. TENSTL.org. TENSTL.org. You know, they can look us up. You know, look us up, check us out.
Is there a phone number?
Yeah. The Empowerment Network, Inc., area code 314-385-0998. It's the phone number here. You know, survivors can come here. Not only they ring the bell excitement at St. Louis University, but they come here after they finish up their treatments. You know, they finish up surgery, they cancer-free, they come here, they ring the bell. The bell is a victory. It's a sign of a victory.
Yes.
You know, so when they ring the bell, sometimes they get pretty emotional, because they have earned that right.
Yes.
To ring the bell, you know, And not only you ring the bell, but you're also praising God at all
That's
the
right.
same time.
Because we got to give thanks.
Got to give thanks. You know, you got to give thanks. You know, but you know, in order to get to it, you got to go through it. Let me say it again.
Look right to the camera. Just say it right to the camera.
In order to go through it, you got to. I mean, in order to get to it, you got to go through it.
Absolutely.
You know, you have to go through the pains of this to understand the pleasure outside of the pain.
Yes, sir.
You know, the pleasure outside of the pain, the purpose outside of the pain. You know, but you got to go through the pain. You know, to understand. You know how precious this life really is, man.
And I'm sure you have a different look on life, a better acceptance, closer walk with God, family, all the above.
Everything. It changes your whole perspective on life. You know, in my book, I talk about the simple things in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like standing on the front porch in the morning and hearing the birds chirp. You know what I mean? Looking at my wife's flowers that she said, "Did you water?" You know what I mean? It's little stuff like that. But
We take those things for granted.
we take all that for granted.
Yes.
You know, we take all of that for granted, you know, but it's the simple things in life that really, when it's all said and done, it means the very most.
Yes.
Because everything that we accumulate in this lifetime, we leave it all behind.
That's right.
You know, our CDs, you know, our annuities, you know, our bonds, our saving account, the things that we put all this emphasis on, our cars, our home, we leave it all behind.
In the blink of an eye.
In the blink of an eye.
Because brink's not following you.
No.
That's not right.
No.
That beam may not follow you. I'm sorry.
So, you know,
What else?
it's family. You know, it's the simple things in life that mean so much.
One thing I would ask before we let you go, because you've been, like I said, I'm over here trying to keep it together.
I see you crying. See you crying a little bit.
Well, you know, because it's hitting home.
Yes, sir.
And when you
Yes,
have
sir.
dealt with it and going through it, it's just like, oh, thank you, God. It's
Right.
encouraging because
Right.
it's like, wow, you can, when you got to go through it to get through it, but once you get through it,
Right.
oh, God, I'm
Yes,
telling you,
yes,
I'm going to come back, I'm going to give you all the days.
But you got to praise him for that.
And you got to praise him in the midst of it.
In the midst of the storm.
Yes.
He
Yes.
still deserves to praise.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's praiseworthy.
Yes.
And he's worthy of praise.
In the good,
In the good.
the bad,
In the bad.
and the good.
You got to do that. You got to be thankful and grateful,
Yes.
you know. But after you finish with all that, what are you doing today to help somebody else?
That's
along the
right.
way?
That's
You know,
right.
and that was one of my Monday motivators. What have you done today to help somebody else along the way?
That's right.
You know, there's so many things that we can do to help others,
Yes.
and we got to continue to do that. You know, is give one, sharing, and then giving back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Well, I've got one question that I would like to ask. If we can get, if you could go talk to 19-year-old you, go back and talk to 19-year-old you. Now that you're going through all this, what would you say to 19-year-old?
You know, I wrote a chapter in the book, you know, and I talked about, you know, talking to that man in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
you know, talking to that man. So many things I've been through in this lifetime. If I could just talk to that 19-year-old,
Yeah.
so many mistakes that I've made in this lifetime, so many ups, so many downs that I've been through in this lifetime, you know, I would share with them, you know, I would share with them in everything. And it would be a great learning experience because, life teaches you so many great things.
Yeah.
You know, it really does, you know, and that 19-year-old in the mirror that would be looking back at me, you know, he could benefit from the wisdom of a 71-year-old.
Much.
Looking good, 71.
I was say you don't look your age at all, now.
Right.
But black don't crack. Remember that.
That part. Well, he's already given us the contact info.
Yeah, you already gave us
He's
the
already
contact.
given us the
He
address.
gave y'all the encouraging word. Y'all up here watching me be a big baby. The older I get, and I try to fight it back, and it just keep coming.
Right.
But I'm not ashamed because people need to see men be emotional.
That's right.
And see, you can't internalize. It's real life going on out
Right,
here,
right.
and you got to be willing to say, "Look, I need help."
And see, that's what men need to hear that.
Yes,
It's okay to cry.
Yes.
It's okay.
Let it out.
You're right. Let it out. Release the pain. Release those things that we keep bottled up.
Yes.
And statistics is showing that's the reason why men live a lot less longer than women.
Because we so strict.
Because we so strict.
Yes.
We internalize.
Yes.
We hold all of that in and we don't let it go.
Yes. Yes. And I ain't trying to blow no gaskets no time soon.
You ain't got too much to do.
Well, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. One thing I do want to do before we go, I just want to scan the room and let the people see the bell, because we have cancer survivors, people that's dealing with all the above. And like I said, just to be in the room and see it all, it's just so encouraging all the above. So if you all have been touched like I have, if you have any questions, anything, be sure to follow, like, subscribe. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Reach out. He gave you the contact information. You have no excuse not to get the help to help you on your own healing journey. Because, as you see, just like he made it through it, you can make it through it as well. So we thank you. We thank you. We thank you for your time, for your testimony, for blessing us. And one more time, since we did so, just give that information again, just in case they missed it.
All right. The Empowerment Network, Inc., 6000 West Flossin. Website is TENSTL.org. 6000 West Flossin. Phone number, area code 314-385-0998. We are open here at the center Monday through Fridays from 9 to 3. Stop on by.
All right. Well, you all heard it. We thank you. We appreciate you for tuning in to the Pew Baby Show one more time. And until next time, remember to like, follow, subscribe, and leave your comments. And until then, peace.